everybody, welcome to the channel. I want to say a big hello to all the new subscribers. I'm continuing on with these little Evinrude 15 low profile 9.9s and 15s from mid to late 80s. So what you're seeing here is two different motors. You got one there that's 87, I believe, and one's an 85. And you can notice the different exhaust housings or exhaust tubes on them. But as I started this adventure, like I said, I found that two-piece, three-piece, whatever you want to call it, shift rod in one of these, and I thought that was kind of unusual. It, to me, looked kind of factory. So what else I got going with these? Like I said, I like to do them 2 or 3 at a time, and I've got lower units about ready to get water pumps put on them. I actually have 3 of them, those 2, and that one right there. I got to put an impeller in that one and clean it up. I'll change oil and impellers on all 3. Then over here, I've got the lower pan, and I'll use the lower pan, but the center section of the leg there's got cracks, but there's a lot of good stuff on there, such as the tiller parts, the tiller handles, the upper motor mounts, just a whole bunch of good stuff, shift handles. But I will be using that pan, because that pan, the difference between the 2 engines on the bench is, if you look right here, this is where the cable, there's a little ball that fits in there for a cable. And the cable comes and hooks to the bell crank right in there. So this pan does not go to this motor. It's a different pan. I just set it there. This is for a motor that has cable throttle, which I much prefer. So that one's going to go on whichever one of those over there has the cable throttle set up. All right. Here's the one, the 85 is going to stab into this pan and cowling. And I know it looks a little dirty and stuff right now, but that's just, I actually painted the inside. This thing was just all flake and scale. But I've got everything ready, everything's all loose. This thing wouldn't even shift. This wouldn't rotate. The slow speed, troll speed, or whatever they call it, wouldn't spin it all, so I had to take all that out. I had to take all the shift rod out. The transom clamps, you can see they're different ones there. I got a white aluminum one and a black one, but they're all nice and freed up. And then there's this pain in the butt job right here. These throttles, you can see I took it all the way apart, completely out of there. And but there's something I want you to pay particular attention to, and that is that right there. That link that goes from stabbing into this gear and bearing surface, bushing, gear and bushing setup. So there's a gearing bushing setup right there. Right there, there's the gear, and it's pinned through a nylon bushing that goes in there, and there's a washer and then a clip that holds it all together. And then this piece right here, now I'm going to show you what that piece is. Okay. Let me get you raised back up. Okay. This piece, that piece looks like that. That's what it looks like. You can see it square. and you've got a gear and bushing on each side, and it stabs into the one that's in the lower pan there, and then you can see the ends are square, and if you see, there's a recess hole in there, and on one end of it you got a recess, a convex boss there. So that one goes in, and you can see they're square, and there's two little bosses on the side. But that's what goes in, and then, so what you're looking at there, all right. Okay, so this is that gear right there. Then there's that bushing, stabs in there, and now you got to get from this spinning right here all the way over to inside the pan where it spins right there, and everything spins together. Well, that link, if you look right in there, that's the link that hooks everything together, those gears inside the cowling pan, and it does that with this, which I believe this is just nylon. Yeah, it's just nylon. And so this is the very unit that this lower leg and gearbox was the one where I found the double piece shift link and shift rod in it. It was this piece right here, this engine right here. Well, as I'm pulling the engine off of here and everything, because I wanted to do the grommets, I always pull the grommets off. And so, as I'm doing that, I get another surprise. And so, now that being said, what I said is I showed you how all that hooks up to those bushings and gears via these square hold. Like I said, you got to get there. That's how it works. And then this one stabs into the piece that's in the lower pan. When you turn the handle, turns the bell crank, moves the throttle cam plate and the throttle cam. So I'm taking this thing apart. Like I said, I pulled the engine. So I could pull the exhaust tubes and get those grommets because I knew they would need them, and yes, they did. And damn if I didn't find the damnedest thing. One, let me get a magnet. Okay. Alright, you can see my magnet picks up the screwdriver just fine. Alright, so there's my magnet. When I pulled the power head and lifted it off, I heard something hit the floor. Something made a little bit of a clank. And lo and behold, what I found was this. Okay. This is solid stainless steel. And it has been machined. There's my thumb so you can get a reference. It has been machined. And the job they did is very nice. And that's what was in that motor for operating the 2 gears. A stainless steel, that is not factory. I've been doing this too long to believe that this was factory. So as you can see, it fits in there really nice. There's the square hole. Boom. This one goes into the other end that's in the cowling pan. You turn the gear here. And like I said, it's stainless. There's my magnet. Nothing. Completely stainless. So that's what I found in there, and that is just and I mean, it's cut perfect to fit the tiller on that thing. One of the bushings was froze up, but once I got the bushing froze up, I went ahead and put this one back in there just to see if everything worked. It worked perfect. I mean, it worked like it was from the factory. So I did have a reply or two, people saying that they had seen the shift rod in multiple pieces like the one I pulled out of here. I personally have never seen that. But I for certain have never seen that. Yeah, this thing, it almost looks like it's got a mark on it or something. But whoever did it, boy, they do good work. I mean, that is really good work. That's that one. Here's the nylon plastic one. So this one will be going in one of my motors. But yeah. So the summary, excuse me, of this whole thing is, for me, somebody with very good machinist skills at one point owned that little engine, because this is good work here, whoever did this. I see all kind of what I call custom come in here, and most of it makes you cringe. This does not make me cringe at all. I'm very impressed by it. Just a good, well done job. Fits right where it's supposed to go, does exactly what it's supposed to do, made out of stainless. I mean, you can't argue with that kind of skill. I mean, whoever did it, cheers to you. You did a good job. So, I got to take a little time off tomorrow, but hopefully tomorrow afternoon I'll get back in here and at least get one of these all put back together. I've got to do all the auxiliary stuff, putting on the starters, and the starter that came with this particular engine I'm doing is got a busted spring or something going, or it's most of the time they just pull in. But I'm cleaning up the coils when I took them off before I cleaned up the power heads. You know, everything, you can see how green that is in there. All that needs to come out. Same with the blocks where they bolt, where all this stuff bolts. I take a light little file and just get me some good metal there. Then that'll be ready to go. I've got the lower units. It's just a matter of putting some oil in them and putting an impeller in too, and they'll be ready to stab. And I've got this one over here, all the linkages, all the throttle cams, all that stuff, transom clamp, gear shift, all been taken apart, all been cleaned, re-lubed, anti-seized, put back in there. So should get at least 2 out of this. When I'm said and done, I should have 2 little shorties is what I'm shooting for. and Johnny Rude goodness. So thanks for watching. I just wanted to show you that some of these guys out there who play with these outboards, they have some skill, and that's no doubt. So thanks for watching.